Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's daily brief recap. Thought it was kind of amusing. Somebody sent me a message, Brian. I'd love to subscribe to your site, but you talk way too much. I only got 10 minutes to get a review of the market, Brian, and you sit there and talk endlessly. And frankly speaking, it's not worth the subscription. Okay, I guess it is what it is. We do try to go overboard with content. My apology. I suppose going forward, maybe we can try and do some sort of 5-10 minute summary for you, but maybe consider it like a work in progress. I know we did try and start out with these free videos as being 10 minutes. that almost turned laughable after a while, eh? But what the hell? As soon as I stop having fun with this and stop feeling as though I'm sort of satisfying a calling, and this feels more like work and like, oh, you got to follow the script and all that kind of stuff, I'll probably stop doing this. So my suggestion to you, if you do find these videos a little bit long, is maybe throw me on 2x speed. I'm the type of guy where you can actually understand sort of what I'm saying at that high speed. And then, if you actually start hearing me talk about something that actually interests you, you slow me down to regular speed through that. That would probably be my suggestion to anybody who's kind of like, man, these videos are long. But and it's sort of weird. I think it's actually very telling of my personality, where I'm the type of person, I really like the idea of under promising but over delivering. So people go, holy shit, this is ridiculous. I only paid this for this. This guy's nuts. I mean, I love that kind of talk. That if I go to the grocery store or something, or any kind of store, and I buy something and I feel like I got a pretty cheap price, and I open up the package and it's all this cool stuff, and it's like, and I'm going to go back to that store and I'm going to buy more and more and more and more and more. It's just it's good. And sadly, in this world, actually, we're moving the exact opposite. You spend higher and higher and higher prices, and you get less and less and less and less. So, in a weird sort of way, I think it's actually a good commentary on my life too, because I always sort of swim against the tide. And people have said through my life, man, Brian, your life would be so much easier if you just quit fighting and just let the people around you just take care of you. But I always gotta figure ways to screw up my own life, I suppose. But take advantage of me. I mean, I've said it before, and actually, I even made direct reference to one gentleman in particular who's basically, done fantastic work on his own watching these videos. And I make reference to him, and I think it's a value to you. And he even chimes in, "Yep, Brian, I took note of that." You can build one hell of a user's manual for the entire capital markets just watching these videos and taking notes. So take advantage. Right? And then, if you're the type of person where this is like, you're like, wow, this is so over my head. And you just need that step by step by step guidance to just, set you up so that when I do go on these funny rants, you kind of understand what the hell I'm talking about. Well, that's why we built the education program. And I have to say, I'm over the top pleased at actually the way that TRI has developed to be able to deliver that very step by step by step. This is how you learn the process. And my right hand man here, who does the daily briefs and the daily brief recaps, Kevin, he's part of that level 1 program. And I think you couldn't be in better hands if you need that help. And that's what we're here for. We're not going to tell you what to buy or sell. I mean, frankly speaking, I couldn't care what you buy or sell. But we will tell you that there is a methodology to this, risking money professionally in the marketplace on a regular basis. There are some really simple things that if you just inject them into your thinking and your behavior in the marketplace, they can dramatically change performance. And I got to tell you, when we go through these insane bull markets and people a year or two ago bought my message and said, well, okay, Brian, I'll work away. Let's see what happens. And we go into these insane bull markets. They're just like, I can't believe this, Brian. This is life changing. Literally changing people that maybe like lived in a trailer park for the past 20, 30 years. Well, let's listen. I'll throw my stimmy money and see if I can learn how to trade crypto. And now they're like, well, actually talking about Lambos. I don't know whether you're going to win a lot of friends driving a Lambo in a trailer park. That's probably not going to work too well. But anyway, get out there and have some fun. I mean, dog money, dog money, dog money. I suppose I'm already up into Lambo shopping mode with dog money alone. But I want more. I want to buy a house. I want to buy Liam my house with my dog money. So that's my goal there. All right. Rants aside, Kevin and I had a fantastic session with the good people here today. And I like Wednesdays. It's sort of like a 1-2 punch. We have our TRI secret options formula meeting where actually we're doing a lot of warrant trading and that kind of stuff lately. David O, of course, he was one of our first contest winners. And actually, we just had a raffle. So I can't remember what the gentleman's name is who won the raffle, but I think he's already on the site and getting set up. So I'm so proud of the fact that he's like super excited and gung-ho and feels as though he got a real gift. And frankly speaking, you did. If you apply yourself, this will change your life. So it's up to you. The ball's in your court, sir. Of course, new students getting ready for this coming term, same message to you. I mean, this can change your life. It's just a question of will you learn this and will you apply the principles that we are trying to get you to espouse. My general message to the community today, especially with regard to things like cryptocurrencies, is probably not in your best interest to step in front of this kind of market. The market seasonally, of course, this is a very friendly type time of year for spec anyway, probably coming into the end of moves. You know, all the venture capitalists that loaded up on their venture cap ideas into November, December, January, tax loss selling season, buy when it snows, all that kind of talk. They're going to be pumping price as hard as they can into this window here. Dog money, dog money, dog money. And of course, they're going to be ringing the register, right? And that just makes sense. Might as well pay yourself. Once and of course now dog money, their number one cheerleader, Mr. Musk, is going to be appearing on big social media kind of experiences. I don't know, would you call Saturday Night Live social media? I don't think so. We'll call it legacy social media. That's the way that the 20th century society used to interact. That was sort of the big public acknowledgement was through TV shows of things like Saturday Night Live, which is fascinating because now I don't even think Saturday Night Live is even played at the old time. It used to be played at like 11 o'clock at night, and it was sort of like the big adult thing to do on the weekend. But I don't even think it's even at that time. I think it's like at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night now, which is kind of funny, but oh well. Point of the matter here, he is appearing on that show. I do believe that's this is a classic buy the rumor. Then, of course, on the event, probably sell the news. There's probably going to be a bit of profit taking. The question is, can they pump this thing as high as possible into that event? And then, of course, the question is, does Brian have to go and change his name to what the hell's the name I'm going to have to do? Sedona Euphoria. I said publicly, if they pump this son of a bitch up above $2, I will officially change my name. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the hell you do that. It's kind of a funny joke, I guess, suppose, at the very least on the site and in my social media interactions. Maybe I'll change my Twitter name to Sedona Euphoria. I don't know. I doubt that they can achieve these levels, but in capitalism, who knows? I mean, this is why we always say, don't get into the business of predicting because you just don't know what the hell's going to happen in this world. I think that Sedona is probably a really good analogy of this market state, where, frankly speaking, this asset, there's no fundamental justification for it to be 63 cents US per coin. I mean, I don't even know what the hell the market cap of the silly thing is. Uh, I think hopefully you all understand that technically Doge, it verifies its network through Litecoin. So it's interesting actually to see there's so much euphoria in Doge that I think it's actually vaulting Litecoin higher. So try and figure that one out. I wanted to just see what the market cap of this thing is, but what's the popular market cap site that they use nowadays? Is it Coin360? I can't remember. Where's Doge? There it is. Boom. Wow, it's getting pretty big on the screen here. Let's see what they give the market cap of this thing is. Jesus Christ, look at that. So we're sitting right now $81.7 billion on the, is that right? Millions? Yeah, so $81 billion for this network. I mean, how do you justify $81 billion? Could it be $181 billion? Sure, I suppose. I mean, they can do anything they want in this market. What I would say is there's been sort of a lot of sort of public tout about $1. I do kind of like that. It's, of course, now I think it's going to be a magnet. Literally, I think price gets sucked into that $1 level. And I actually think that that's probably going to happen into that event. So, I mean, how do you put a value on this thing? Very difficult to figure out. Can you actually say that there is value in this coin here? As long as the pump keeps going, then it's really just a greater fool's theory. The analogy last cycle, and it's actually interesting because I think there's a lot of parallels. But if you look at something like, it's kind of funny, like all of these coins are all coming to life. So it turns out ETC now is finally coming back to life. Where exactly our tops are, I actually thought, somebody had posted me the other day, kind of off topic here, but somebody asked me the other day with this thing perking up, I guess it was sort of right into this event here. Is this the top? Do you think this is the top, Brian? All that kind of talk. Oh my goodness, where the hell's the top, right? So 4669's got blown through, and I was kind of like, well, I really do like 877s for foggy levels, and it's interesting. Boom, blew right through 877s. So where's the next stop on this thing? It looks to me like this is Julian's 1688, the Julian bomb level. I gotta say, it sure looks to me like that's probably a realistic level to look for some resistance there. But wow, I mean, this whole damn crypto market. What is that? That's like you could have bought this thing just even 6 months ago for like $3, $4, $5. Here we are, $125. So another great analogy that I don't know whether it's necessarily any one individual coin or one individual story. It's just the whole damn altcoin market is lifting. We saw the exact same thing happen in 2017. And like I said before, I don't know whether it's in anybody's best interest to step in front of this train. This train's got a hell of a lot of momentum behind it. And of course, what probably will happen is, for whatever it's worth, this is how it went down last time. I think we've talked to you recently that, Bitcoin's price gets bumped up And then it sort of parks itself into a range. And I think you can make the argument, well, once we got up into this sort of 40, 50,000 kind of idea, we've just been sort of sawing back and forth, getting all the kids to FOMO chase up top, and then they get wrecked and they panic liquidate on the bottom. There's very typical price action. But at some point, Bitcoin is going to go, okay, enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of all you alts enjoying the party. It's my turn. And it will sort of, eventually, did we play out this particular scenario? I haven't got a fucking clue. What I would say right now in the short term is we got a lot of social media orgy going on here with this Doge. So coming into this weekend and Saturday in particular, I don't see a lot of sort of upside resistance on a lot of these altcoins. And actually, no, I don't see a lot of upside resistance on something like Doge that's at new highs or like ETH. But I do see like a lot of these names that have recently rallied. What you're seeing right now is sort of dead cat bounces coming off of the lows. So a lot of these ones that have had these monster rallies, they're not really breaking out to new highs, which is sort of similar to what I'm seeing out of Bitcoin. I think they still need a bit more time. Like that one, actually, it does have a top working, but there are some of the names that are still pressing higher. I don't think a name like Waves, obviously you can't come in on the buy side there. There's no real sort of upside resistance to stop that thing. But, like this NMR, we were looking at it recently. All the people that came up and bought up here, if we do rally back up into these highs, they're going to be like, oh, phew, thank God, get me out of there. So I do think a lot of the market is cleaning up. It's just because of this funny little social media event that we have here on Saturday, it's kind of opened up the window a little bit for this rally. And things like Litecoin, which technically is actually the driver behind Doge, it's actually surging here as well, and that doesn't surprise me. Keep in mind Charlie did last October, and I don't know whether it's a reference to his birthday, Satoshi's birthday. Are they the same person? I don't know. But he even said, I think it was last fall. So where's that? That's right in here. Yeah. So September, October, November. He even himself said that, don't be surprised if Litecoin's at new highs here within a year. And there you go. Merry Christmas. And wow, doesn't that look symmetrical? Wow, it's just so beautiful. This to me looks like one of these funny little billiard ball fractals, right? And you can even see like the back and forth here, the back and forth here. It's remarkable. I mean, it's just so beautifully symmetrical. And I showed you this about Waves the other day as it was approaching its old high. I was like, is that a bear market? No. Don't be surprised, right? And I think I showed you that that Waves, it's just exploded through those old highs. And I got a funny feeling, especially dog money, right? That's that same image, right? That's it. Litecoin is basically right here, right now, same image. And look at what that goddamn Waves did. Just like in 1 or 2 days, bang, 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 bang. I mean, could Litecoin do that? Sure, why not? I'm dog money. It's kind of market we're in, which is interesting because to a certain degree, I do believe that crypto is sort of insulated, maybe is the word, especially with the advent of DeFi and people being able to even now tell these centralized crypto exchange, go fuck yourself. I haven't gotten to that point, but actually, I bought a bunch of paper in the DeFi space, so I'm definitely involved. And of course, Sjord and Julian, they love the DeFi space, and they're just having a great old time in there. So in a weird sort of way, crypto, I think, to a certain degree, is a bit insulated over classic stock markets. And, grown-ups, the higher-ups, I think they're actually going to be sort of just treading their water, cooling their jets, treading water. Even venture cap market not really catching much of a bid in the stock market because there's a big US tax filing deadline coming up here in a week or two, which does concern me a little bit for things like crypto and the corn once we get on the other side of this weekend orgy event. Be careful here, folks. You might actually find that once that sort of social media event's over, buy the rumor, sell the news. That's Saturday, and of course today's Wednesday, so that means we still got like 4 days of this insanity ahead of us. I've told you before, crypto hates my birthday. So this would be perfect, right? Buy the rumor, everything gets bid up, and then Monday, Tuesday, there's a big sort of, well, wake up. My goodness, what have we done? And then, of course, that tax filing deadline is Friday. So if you wanted to sell something in the stock market, 3-day settlement, you got to be selling Monday, Tuesday. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. This is going to be a funny weekend here, that's for sure. And like I said, does Brian actually have to change his name legally to Sedona Euphoria? I doubt it, but hey, if it happens, it happens. It means that basically dog money people have bought my son a house, and thank you very much. What can I say? He's special needs. It's the whole reason why I do this. He's low functioning. There's no way in hell he could ever afford a house or let alone buy a house, let alone things like mortgage payments. He would be living in institutional setting for the rest of his life. So, thank Jojo, thank God, thank Elon Musk. If you do make this happen and you set him up for the rest of his life in a nice, solid, really well, good looking home, that nobody's going to possibly take away from him, I'll be more than happy to change my name. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I will say, at the same time that this is unloading bags that I've had for years that I've been accumulating all through all this. I mean, you can see, and the irony of it all is that this is what I'm trying to teach you guys to do, is create multiple free cars year after year after year after year. And I've been in this thing buying against the bottom, sell, have on double, get a whole bunch of free coins, buy at the bottom, sell, haves on double, get free coins, buy, have, sells, and blah, 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 blah. So this is ultimately the event. And really what I think you need to learn at some point, you got to cash in on your hard work and your effort. So this is in essence me cashing in on that hard work and effort. But that doesn't mean, I mean, this is assuming that this happens. That's an assumption, and that it's not a good idea to day by day run your business of trading with this kind of assumption. This is absolute insanity. And okay, fine, we're going to pay ourselves on the insanity. What I think is more realistic and what will probably happen, and Brian keeps his name, is we have what I would consider pretty realistic objectives here. A, B, C, D. In our education program, we teach you things like the bot setup, which would have you taking profits here, but also, too, understanding that A, B, C, Ds can come in various forms. And actually, I did this study on Bitcoin as we were watching it go up against the old highs, just to get an idea if the market was going to fail. Often the failures would come in at these levels, and Bitcoin just said, screw you, man, I'm a bull, see you later. So here we are on Doge, sort of following this same logic. Where are we likely to stall out? The sell half on double strategy, which basically puts me in a position where I have tons and tons of coins to sell on any insane face rips up higher. This would just simply say, look, we're coming into another double level. Gee whiz, what a coincidence. It's going to be at this alt ABCD 1618 or 1.618 extension level, which also happens to be in a parking garage extension range that I often see markets trade to, which also happens to be a Feigenbaum constant bifurcation level 2.618. And we often see markets will just do nothing more than just bang up against there, then come back down, check the original breakout. If this thing still is a bull, then up to here, then back down to this level, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, the way bull markets work. So, with that said, I have a pretty high confidence that we're heading up into this window, which ironically enough is my next sell half on a double order level. I think that makes sense. And we might see some insane fireworks through that Saturday event through this window. So, this strategy doesn't change. So, for this particular purchase, I bought like I think 100, 200,000 down here. Um, by time we're actually up here, I've only got about maybe 10,000 on the sell order of like 20 or 30,000 left. After all this, I got paid, I got paid, I got paid, I got paid, I got paid. And as I told you before, I actually fully expect after this event to happen then we're actually going to come back down and trade down into this tail here and eat that tail. Because the guys who actually ramp this here, they actually put the bottom in right here. So that's where they are long from, probably Snoop Dogg and Gene and Musk and any other cronies he got into this trade. That's where they're long from. So my hunch is that's probably where they want to defend this thing. And if I was going to reload, that's where I'd want to reload. And interestingly enough, if you look at like stories like Verge from the last cycle, they did exactly the same thing, then came back down, and then they had one more big horrendous push higher. And that's actually what I think ought to happen is there's a big orgy event. And, if Bitcoin does like 12, 13 kind of idea, we rally up into here. Then we spend like literally 6 months just cleaning this up. And then into the end of the year, woohoo, straight up. It's your technical analysis. So that's kind of my thinking going forward here. Don't really even want to think about calling a top here ahead of this Saturday event. Why? Would they really break Doge ahead of Musk's fucking big popular orgy? No. Right now, what I think they're doing is they're fucking around with the kids. They come in, they watch these YouTube videos, and they go, "Oh, I can chase up markets. I'll just make easy money. I'll be diamond hands," and they're messing with their heads right now. That's what I think's going on here. And I wouldn't be surprised by time we work our way into the weekend, we're up into this neighborhood. But it's often back and forth, back and forth. Probably if we look at like a lower time frame range, all they're doing is they're just bringing it back into a reload zone. So there's their lower time frame range, right? Boobity boo, boobity boo. You might even draw it off of these lows. Everything that we teach at the site actually you see right here. So you can see they were threatening to M out here. The M never came in. It W'd. Okay, pushed to new highs. We M'd out here. What a surprise. Big dump. And what's the dump doing? What do you think the odds are that this move, and maybe from this low, that looks like a nice base in there, up to this high, this is nothing more than Collins' pump chaser zone. So, yeah, there's 50% rule right off of there. And good old Collins, where's Collins pump chasers? There we are. 38.2 to 50% against these tails, right? That same logic of where I think the higher time frame participants put in the last bottom and where they'll ultimately defend this after this big social media event, just off the lower time frames. Makes perfect sense. I mean, the asset's moving up, public's buying. Oh, diamond hands, we're all going to get rich. And okay, let's go and screw them. And unfortunately, anybody who played this leverage, where do they have their liquidation events? My hunch is it was probably this tail that caused all those forced liquidations. And interestingly enough, tails, this actually is visual evidence of somebody stepped in and bought here. What a surprise. People that saw this action down here, they're like, okay, well, if it does pull back into these tails, I'll step in. And I've got trend. Actually, I don't think that's a trend line. Those are those ABCD lines. But I've got tails. I've got Collins pump chaser zone. 38.2 is the first stop target. And we often say that, we can't even really ask whether this is even finished being a bull and has turned into a bear until we see 38.2 is resolved. So in a weird sort of way, actually, this is just business as usual. There's nothing new going on here at all. Um, just don't get swept up in this, right? This is disaster, danger. It's got trouble written all over it. I go onto social media and there's like people that maybe have been trading for 6 months now or professionals that are advising on this, and it's just got trouble written all over it. Long and short of it here, folks, don't mean to be rude. And I go on these rooms and I say, well, full disclosure, I'm long from, that's versus the Bitcoin price. I'm long from 40 sats. And I think it was like in the 30s that I bought. I wouldn't touch this thing right here at 1,000 sats. It might go to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 sats. Maybe Brian has to change his name. Who knows? There's no fucking way in hell I'm going to be a buyer here. Just can't do it. And the funny thing is, as this is happening, you ask, well, are there ideas that maybe are Wing? And oh my God, they're everywhere. And this is so funny. You want to go look at my Twitter feed. This was actually one of the very first coins I ever bought in this space. And I bought it off of the exact same reasons that I talked to you guys about here day in, day out. And hopefully you can see, let's see if we can do this. Except that one damn candle. They're taking it up now, the bastards. And that makes sense because I was out there going, hey, man, this thing's a steal. Look at the W. What a surprise. But so I saw this, of course, bang against the bottom, W's. And I even put out tweets. Well, I'm buying the W's. I'll be banging out doubles when it happens. And this was back in 2014. That's like 7 fucking years ago. Same logic. Nothing has changed here at all. I mean, look at this. 7 years ago, we could do, well, maybe I'll think about buying when it comes back down into a reload zone. Boom, 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 W, woohoo. Nothing changes here. So, fast forward to today. And look at what we got going on here. You tell me, is there any money to be made on an asset that looks like that? The longer the something, the bigger the something. And it's just sitting there. Isn't that incredible? And of course, people are buying dog money. But I look at something like that and I go, 15 sats, could this thing work its way up to 150 sats? Sure. Could dog money here that's 60 cents, is it likely to go to $6 from here? I doubt it. And the irony of it all is you can actually see on this damn duck note chart, there's a goddamn gap. It's just sitting right there, wide open, right at, what the hell's that number? Oh, no, it isn't. There's a visual illusion. Actually, well, I don't know whether that gap's open or not. It looks like it was filled. So take that back. Sorry. I didn't mean to get you all excited for no reason at all. But I would just simply say, and we often talk about this, there is the original top. If this thing is really a bear, if we rally up against those highs, that's where we're going to find out whether the institutions really hate this thing or not. Oh, hello. There is a gap. So, this is going to be a fun challenge. Somebody hold me to this. Do we doc notes between now and the end of the year, do we trade up to fill in that gap at 227 sats? I mean, you saw, ironically enough, you saw dog money there. It bottomed at like 15, 20 sats, and here it is 1,000 sats. So this shit happens all the time in capitalism. But I don't see any reason why that can't happen. And what is that? That's, that's 10, 15x. And I'll never tell you what to buy. I couldn't care what you buy. Full disclosure, where does it go? This is not investment advice. Really, I'm just telling you what I'm doing with my money. And yeah, I'm trying to go and pick up some more of this. I've got a huge bag of this thing. And if they want to take it back up, well, maybe that's when we buy Liam his ski chateau to go along with his country estate in Georgia. Man, this Liam guy, he's going to be set up damn sweet by the end of all this. All right, so there's your market. Not really commenting on the rest of this stuff because, frankly speaking, ahead of tax deadline, I don't really see a hell of a lot going on in all this stuff. And junior stock markets are like, hurry up and we did go and buy a few warrants. There's a couple names, especially in the SPACs. Did some buying, so those are kind of cool. Did buy some pot stocks, so did buy a little bit into that space and some options in there. But I don't know. I'm a little leery about the stock market until we get through that tax deadline. Crypto, of course, we got dog money action here. It does look to me like we got a bit of a fight up against where, shit coins themselves should find some resistance, but I'd actually have to see this actual market break and roll over for some sort of news driven fundamental reason, like SEC is going to outlaw cryptocurrency ownership in the United States, something, or maybe a big hack or something like that. As long as we don't hear any sort of earth-shattering news like that, I don't think it's a good idea to step in front of crypto. And I do find it interesting on sort of an aside, like this guy's just getting going. I for whatever it's worth, I got bids at 7 to buy, but I doubt before the end of this move that they come back. But they might, who knows? But people that have been bag holding on Silberts, they're finally getting released. I mean, I showed you this chart earlier. So, ironically enough, I got about I don't know, about 7 or 8 G's worth of this thing on the books. I don't know what to do with it. I got it as sort of the fork of the ETH event, so it's just sitting there. I don't know. Should I sell some? I'll leave it up to you. You tell me. Oh goodness, crazy crypto. PMA for the win. Try and don't take bets that that are going to put you in situations where if they go wrong, you can't recover. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't chase. I would much rather you do things like nanny nibble on little pieces of shit like XDN where the risk is relatively limited. Coming in and buying silver right here, actually, there's a hell of a lot of risk now built into this asset. Do we need to have a following the Doge event here this weekend? Do we need to have a quick sharp pullback in crypto to try and clean up some of these Eurofork moves? It wouldn't surprise me, but of course, there's no guarantee, so you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And just like that XDN I showed you, if you had the balls to come in and load up on ETC when nobody was interested in this, should be so happy right now. Banging out doubles, banging out triples, banging out fog and bombs, whatever the hell works for you and your strategy. But this is your payday. You should be paying yourself here. Don't chase. The public is chasing and they're FOMOing and they're buying. The professionals are actually selling into these kind of moves. I don't know. That's Brian's opinion. Take it for whatever it's worth. I think I'll leave the rant at that. No idea how long it was, but I hope you got some value out of that. PMA for the win. All the best. And Kevin, if you could take us on out of here. The only thing left for Brian to say is bye for now.